Hello YouTubers, I wanted to pop on with a quick little tutorial on how to use the little Silhouette Mint. It is Silhouette's little ability to make stamps from scratch. So when you get the little Silhouette, you get the machine, you get these 4 colors, and you get the ability to make one of these size stamps and one of these size stamps. I have used my label maker to put the sizes on. They've put them in millimeter sizes and my brain doesn't do metric. So I labeled them all. But you use a little machine, you put these little cards in the back and it will thermo print on your stamp material whatever you want it to. There you go. And then you have to use their ink because it like seeps in, and you can make whatever stamp you want to. So we are going to make one of these size stamps. We're going to go over to the computer and I'm going to show you how to set it up in their software. So the Mint has its own little program. Here you go. It's got this little leaf. It's called Mint Studio. Its little leaf is its little icon. This was the stamp I showed you a minute ago. And all I did was click the alphabet button, the A button over here. Clicked and then typed out my words. You can shrink them down. And then just went over here to my fonts and picked out the fonts I want. You can see how detailed that little font is down there at the bottom. Something that takes a minute to get used to from being in the other side for so much is you don't have to weld these. You have the urge to weld them, but you don't. So they're always going to be where you can manipulate them. Something that's kind of cool that you can do is go over here to the curved text and you can put them on all sorts of different little paths. And then something else is kind of cool. So like that one, see where the curve of the end goes through the D. I can get back over here to my alphabet and move it with character spacing. The character spacing button. And I can move them and mess with other stuff, left, right, center. I guess it doesn't really matter for him. But you get the idea. And you can mess with them and move them and make them bigger or smaller. And that was just putting in straight, just typing fonts from the computer. Now I want to go over here to where I want to make my new stamp. If you go over here to stamp settings, these are all your sizes. And that's why I labeled my, my little blocks because, yeah, I don't do metric at all. But you can type in here or you can bring in a PNG file. So we're going to go to File and Merge. And I'm going to bring in this PNG file. You cannot bring in SVG files, just pictures it looks like. So when I bring this picture in, that's my little stamp and this is my picture. So he's a wee big. So I'm going to shrink him down to size. And this is one of my designs from Christmas because I thought he'd be really cute on Christmas cards. This is where my brain went when I said stamps. So, and obviously he's a square design for a square stamp. If you want to do rectangle. Also, back over here, I picked chunkier fonts. The really swirly, really thin ones didn't seem to want to look as pretty. And we're basically going to get him just situated on here. And that's pretty much all we're going to do. Now, when I'm on this A button, it's going to be all nice and clear and pretty. You can go over to this one, which applies different filters, but know that when you get to the point where you're sending it to your Mint, it's going to get, the picture's going to get a little, I don't know, fuzzy-ish. But these are different, you gotta click your picture first. These are different settings you can apply to the picture if you want to, and then you can play with all these different settings. But we're just going to go with standard. But yeah, so when we go get ready to send it to our Mint, see how it's going to get fuzzy, and that's okay. Alright, so I clicked the little leaf at the end, and this is my Send to Silhouette screen. It's going to flip my design automatically for us, which is another thing that kind of feels weird. Also, you have to have your Mint plugged in and on, or else you're going to get a box down here. And one thing I do like, this is our little sheet. It's our little sheet, and we're going to plug it into the machine the same way as the picture with a little cutout towards the left-hand side. And we're going to go put it into our machine. And as it says, your stamp will be made as soon as you insert the sheet into the mint. So you don't get a chance to go, oh no, wait. Okay, once I click Start Mint, the mint little machine's gonna start blinking. The little light down here is gonna start blinking, and it will get ready to feed this in just as quick as I do it. All right, so I clicked Start Mint, and see my light is blinking. So I'm gonna take my sheet and insert in the back. Until it starts feeding itself. It is fairly quiet, and it does this, where it gets really quiet, like it feeds in and then it stops and you think, oh no, how am I getting this out of here if it's jammed? But I promise it hasn't, and it's gonna feed it right back out. It's pretty cool, I must admit. And we're done. Okay, so this is our little stamp. So you're going to take and tear perforated edge off. And you're going to take it and peel it off. So now this is an extra base that you buy. And you take off the top, and then you're going to have a sheet here so you can peel it off. It's going to be adhesive underneath. So you're going to take this and try to put it on as level as you can. So there you go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to ink it up. So one of the kind of cool things about this is I can make a multicolor stamp, which you can't do with a traditional stamp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make my Santa black. And you just kind of squish all the ink on here. Over all your lines. I may have made a bit of a mess of that, but oh well. So I'm going to make Santa black, and I'm going to make all the writing red. And what's going to happen is this has to sit, and the ink will be soaked up into the stamp. So where it kind of looks like a globby mess at the moment, the stamp will suck up a lot of that. So we are going to let this soak for a little bit, in probably 5 minutes or so, and we'll be back to do some stamping. So we've let it sit for a while. We may have put a little too much on, but you can see where it's soaked up into some of the detailing. We have a little too much on. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, this is the base. You can buy more of these. You can buy more of these. I'm going to take this off and put this one on. Little grooves on it. So we're going to stamp. And the first couple are going to look pretty bad. Just so you know. Don't panic. Actually move down here. So, but see, as we go, they get clearer and clearer. And you can get several stamps out of one stamp. So see? So, and there you go. And now what I can do is I can put a top on this guy. So what I'm going to do is, you get some of these too. So I'm going to make a stamp on here. And I'm going to peel it off and put it on this one. You get 2 in case you want to put it on, I guess in case A, you mess one up. Or if you want to put it on top of the block, but the blocks are reusable, so I'm going to do that. And then you can pop this guy off and put him somewhere and make some more. So, the number one gripe with the Silhouette Mint is the cost of the refills and the ink. Now, the thing to keep in mind is, yeah, they're expensive. But you don't have to buy them all at once, you know, unless you're like a lean, mean stamping machine and want to go stamp the world, then it's probably better to go spend the $200 and get all of this stuff. But if you just want to make occasional stamps or stamps for your envelopes or for Christmas or something like that, then you can just buy the little refills. They're around 20 bucks-ish for one of these kits, between, I don't know, $10 and $20, depending on how big the stamp is. And then the inks, I got the 2 extras as add-ons, and they were like $3 or $4 a piece. So, but also, I really would have liked to do this in green, and I don't know if I could have bought green on its own. So, there's a drawback. But, it's kind of fun. I used to be a teacher, so this really goes to my inner teacher wanting to stamp everything. But it's a lot of fun, but it is expensive. So, but there's a little tutorial on it, so now you know how to do it if you have one. If you have any questions or comments, or you want me to make a video, or you have anything you want to add about the mint, please comment below, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much for watching.